So, of course, as I said to you, South Africa is a country of about 9 provinces.
Nine provinces.
And 9 provinces in this regard is quite different from your states in Brazil or in South Africa. Of course, you would know that Brazil is a country with a dimension of a continent.
You're right.
Almost like a continent. So South Africa is like small. Not so small, but it is a country of about 60 million people.
Okay.
Yeah, of which the majority is the African indigenous people in South Africa. Is one country without a name.
Wow.
One country without a name.
South Africa.
It's South Africa. I mean, if you think about Brazil being South America, and you have Paraguay, Uruguay, you have all these countries, Colombia, you have Brazil in it.
Yeah.
But with us, it's not the same. You have the SADC area, which is Southern African countries, Botswana, Lesotho, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Swaziland, Zambia, in this cluster, which is called the SADC. And then you have South Africa. So it does make sense, but that's how things are. The South Africa is the country on its own. It was supposed to be called Azania. It was supposed to be called Azania. I mean, think about it. You have Zambia, Malawi, Namibia. Forgot to mention Namibia as well. You have Namibia, Zambia, and so Azania would make a lot of sense, right?
More sense.
But then it's not called Azania, and of course there are plans a lot to say, why can't we go back to our name after that? That's the only thing that didn't change after the 1994 democratic new government enrollment. They didn't even go back. There are a lot of things that got changed. Cities, take for example Pretoria, the capital city of South Africa, which is we have 3 capitals.
It's not one capital for the whole country.
No, it's not one capital.
Come
you have
on.
3 capitals. You have Pretoria, which is the administrational capital of South Africa, where you find the Union Building, like the White House, where the president is, the executive.
It's like Brasilia here in Brazil.
Yeah, like Brasilia in Brazil.
Okay.
And then you have our Sao Paulo, that is the economic capital of South Africa, that is in Johannesburg.
Okay.
Johannesburg is the
São Paulo of Brazil.
São Paulo of Brazil. Then of course you have what? Cape Town, which is the parliament capital, where you find the parliament and all those things. So that's Cape Town, it's Johannesburg, it is Pretoria. These are 3 capitals of South Africa.
Yeah. It's so funny because you have like 11 languages and you have like 3 capitals, and that's a country of 60 million people, so it's kind of all divided in all these situations. So how does English became like the most common language of South Africa? If we can close on that, we are finishing up here. So if we can close on that, it would be very nice to understand how you come to be an English speaker country.
I wouldn't say really an English speaking country. I'll tell you exactly. For example, my main language is Zulu. I'm a Zulu. So now think about it. 11 official languages. I may know about 5 of them. I can speak fluently Sotho, Tswana, Pedi, Zulu, Xhosa. I speak this 5 fluently. But you still have Shangaan, which I don't even know how to say one thing. I think maybe I know how to say greeting Abushen in it. And then you have Venda, you have Tonga, and you have Afrikaans, which is the language that came from what? The Dutch, who decided that they were no longer going back. Can you imagine how wicked these guys were? They decided that when they get to South Africa, they're not going back again. Now that's not my story alone. This is a story of many South Africans who may know only 2 or 3 languages. So how is the communication going to be? You are living in the same country. 11 languages. How people will communicate? You see that? Your 11 official languages. You have. You are in the same country. So what do you do for communication? Remember, communication became a very important tool in helping people to develop, to move forward and stuff. So English became one of the central language that we can use to stitch all these languages. So
it's like common language.
Yeah, a common language that we can use to speak and to understand each other. Even though during the apartheid system, Afrikaans speaking wanted us to all speak Afrikaans. Afrikaans was supposed to be the language of instruction in South Africa. That's where revolution came from. And said, no, we're not going to speak that language. We won't be speaking Afrikaans here. And why did they ended up choosing English? I think it's because of the way the British were in the first place. And since, you know, English became one of the international known and spoken language, I think we had to just, you know, they were just, you know, putting things on the scale. Which is the better devil?
Balance.
To put it on the balance. So which one is a better devil? You know, there's a worse devil that is Afrikaans, and these guys were so wicked and they caused harm, they caused destruction, they killed people. And the British at some stage they had some, you know, better understanding, and that's why the South Africa was not actually colonized as a British colony. It was not colonized as a British colony. But you have a free state which the British and the Boers fought. I mean, can you imagine these two European nations? They come and fight in South Africa for a stake in South Africa. There's in the history we have what is called British Boer War. You know, that was the British and the Boers. You know, So they fought. It was a very bad fight until they came to conclude to say, okay, fine. Keep the other parts of Africa, South Africa will take free state. But that's another story for another day of what really happened. And of course, that's the reason why we chose, you know, English became the most spoken. But that does not mean it is above all other languages. It's just unfortunate that it's some sort of a language of instruction that in universities that people will study, because the curriculum had to be built. Even right now, South African government is still trying to get all other languages developed into curriculum that can be used in school for learning, you know. So you still find Afrikaans and English leading in terms of subjects. You know, there are people who are studying mathematics in Afrikaans, mathematics in English, but you don't have those who are studying mathematics in Zulu or Xhosa and so on and so forth. That's another trouble that we can talk about another time, to mention few of some of the pain and the struggle of African people, particularly South African. So that's the reason how we ended up speaking English, and I think that was great because it gave us so much opportunity to have so many people to talk. I mean, I'm talking to you right now. I just wonder what were we going to do if I have to be in Zulu and you are speaking Portuguese. It would be chaos here.
We would never connect.
Exactly.
So now I understand. You see, what I could capture here is there is a rich history behind all of it. It's not all about a lot of language and dialects. It's all about history and people after all, right? So unfortunately we are closing here. I would love to have another opportunity for us. In fact, as a matter of fact, you guys are gonna be leaving some comments over here or in whatever place you are listening to it. Just leave some comments, just for us to understand if you would like to have Dr. Peter again in another matter or subject. It would be lovely to listen from you guys. So that's it. I would kindly thank you. It was a pleasure, Dr. Peter, to have you here today.
Muito obrigado.
There you go. You see some Portuguese over here. E vocês, pessoal, muito obrigado. É um prazer poder estar aqui começando. E se preparem. Como eu disse, se não se inscreveu, se inscreve logo, porque tem muita coisa vindo. A gente se vê no próximo. Um abraço.